The Pomodoro Technique is very useful for programmers, developers, software engineers, etc. to stay focused, but from my experience, a few tweaks from the conventional approach are needed for best results. What's the Pomodoro Technique? It was a way of staying focused in 25-minute increments developed by Francesco Cirillo, a grad student in Italy back in 1980s. You'll want to start by setting a timer for 25 minutes. Then you work nonstop until it goes off. After that, you set a timer for a 5-minute break. And then you go back to setting a 25-minute timer, rinse and repeat. But for developers like me, I find this new variation that I've evolved to be a lot more conducive, especially when I really don't feel like starting something that requires deep thought right then, like programming. Basically, you still start by setting a timer for 25 minutes and doing your task like programming. However, if you're already in a flow state when it goes off, you ignore it and keep going till you finish the task, or your mind is fried, or you need to go to the bathroom or something. And you take your 5-minute break then and go back to setting the timer for 25 minutes. Of course, free. If you hit the 25-minute mark and you're not in a flow state or couldn't get going really well, you take your 5-minute break then and start just like in the old version. Why this modified Pomodoro technique? For a lot of deep work like programming, it often takes more than 25 minutes to enter a flow state, and you may already be halfway there when the alarm rings and you don't want to interrupt this trajectory. But if you're already pretty distracted during that 25-minute Pomodoro, you'd probably benefit from a 5-minute break as scheduled. Setting a longer Pomodoro, like a 1 hour, may subconsciously sound like too much when you're already having trouble getting started on a task, and will be an even greater psychological hurdle to starting. So you basically tell yourself to just get started for 25 minutes, but after 25 minutes you've got your groove, you have the choice to keep going. And so I like to call this the developer's Pomodoro. To make starting your work even more effective, try starting your first 25-minute Pomodoro with something that's both fun and requires focused deep work. For myself, free. It could be tweaking my Stable Diffusion setups for generating AI art. Once your 25-minute Pomodoro is over, or longer if it takes longer to get into that flow state, you switch to a more important task. I also find it more effective to batch together similar tasks for different projects. For example, free. I could be working on multiple projects that require coding, so I might spend that whole day once I've gotten into the flow state with this Pomodoro technique on coding regardless of the project. And maybe the next day, it'll be brainstorming. And the day after, it'll be writing. Anyways, hope this helps you get started on difficult tasks that require intense focus and deep work, and let me know in the comments how well it works. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.